Soundboy Killer Rich Nice, the connector, the fixer. And he said, yeah, I know him. I could take you to his house this week. Wait a minute. I've been searching for this dude for 2 years, and you could have took me to his house in that sort of a notice? He said, yeah. I said, wait, this is the same guy who has had multiple Grammy Awards, the same guy that worked on that project with Miss Hill. He worked with Carlos Santana. He's worked with the Marley family. He's worked with Quincy Jones. He's done music supervision for soundtracks like The Banker. You talking about the same guy? He said I could take you to his house. That man's name is Commissioner Gordon. Woo! He happens to be the father of our super PA production assistant, Kalani. At that time, he was married to that magnificent, beautiful person that we brought on a show last week, the one and only Suzette Uzi Williams. That power dynamic between Suzette and this man right now has easily ushered so many fortunate people into their destiny as artists, helped them realize their full potential. He in the studio, her outside of the studio, and I needed to license. I needed to get into their circle, that lexicon. And damn it, I went to their house and I sat and I ate. I ate food. They couldn't get rid of me. I fell asleep in their house. They couldn't do shit with me. Damn. I was everywhere, every day, showing up, forcing him to work with me. It was the hardest thing ever. I'm looking in his face and he wouldn't work with me. It was crazy. Do work, man. It never. We ended up doing work together, but most importantly, we ended up forging this relationship and this brotherhood.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And in that, we talked about everything under the sun. These conversations became metaphysical. It became spiritual. It's just loving, and it's been that way ever since. That's why when his son was born, I was able to cradle his son in my arms.
Facts.
In his little diaper,
Facts.
you know, as he pissed on himself.
Oh, my.
Lil Kalani peeing on himself. Every time you hold him, he was a pisser.
Oh,
That's
man.
foul as hell, yo.
He's trying to go crazy right now.
Wasn't it all of us?
But it was all
He tried to piss you off.
for a major reason.
Yes, sir.
And ladies and gentlemen, this hasn't happened on this show. This is going to be fun today, but one day we're going to do a real sit down, and dig deep into what it is you do. But from all the work you've touched with Alicia Keys, with working with A&R over at Sony Music, with the Marley family,
KRS-One.
KRS-One is how you and Heather B.
And Heather B, which I thought I would have saw her, but she's not here today.
She's not here today. Yeah. Heather B took the time off because I made her work last week.
Oh.
Well, she was supposed to take. I didn't make her, but I asked her to work when she wanted to take time off. But that's how Heather B and you met.
Yeah.
Through KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, right? You remember the first time you met Heather? By the way, welcome Commissioner Gordon to the show.
Wow, Swizz.
Wow.
What an intro.
Yeah, man.
That was incredible.
You
man.
start remembering, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the pissing part. I'm gonna use that one.
Y'all
He's
gotta
right.
chill with that.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Little rainbows everywhere you went.
Yeah, I think Heather, it was with Chris, man. The first time I met Heather was in the studio with Chris. And also, Chris is the way I met Wyclef. So a lot of people don't know that. That's how Lauryn and all those things happened. It was Chris, too.
Was KRS-One.
KRS,
At the nucleus of all of it.
Yeah.
What was Heather like when you met her? Was she in the booth?
Street.
Not street.
It's street. Straight street, but still Heather B, Great person, great energy, and Heather was always a writer, so she was an observer. So as I see her doing this, she was born to do this because of the way that I think she just observes and can capture, capture words.
What was your first entry level into production, producing artist?
DJ.
As a DJ?
As a DJ,
right?
In the Bronx, DJ, and that's how Rich Nice.
So how'd you meet Rich?
Yeah, Rich, I was working with an artist named Jesse West. You know
Jesse West.
Right. So Jesse, at the time when Jesse had gotten some trouble and he was away for a little bit, and I asked him while he was away, I'm like, yo, West, so I need somebody to work with. Could you recommend anybody? And he said, well, I know this one guy. His name is Rich Nice. You know, I'll tell him, give him your number. So he gives me his number. I talk to him. So Rich comes over to my house, and the studio was in the Bronx at the time, in my bedroom. And I remember looking out the window and seeing this guy coming down the block with this baseball cap backwards. And it's the same Rich Nice, exactly the person who said he'll take you to my house. That's who he was. Probably 17 at the time.
At
17
the time,
or 18.
right? And then Rich, was he signed to Motown yet?
Yeah, he got signed to Motown. After those demos that we did, Jesse and Rich both got signed to Motown.
Rich being the youngest rapper ever to be signed to Motown Records.
Yeah.
All right.
Piecing
You better
together.
talk it. You better talk it. All right. And so you work with Jesse West. You work with KRS-One.
Yeah.
Through that, you met Wyclef, who said, hey, I got this group.
Yeah.
Is that how it went?
It basically,
Yeah.
Basically it went like that. And I'll give you, since we're on Shade 45, I'll give you a little story.
Okay.
Please do.
So, yeah, I'll give you a story. Now, not many people know this story. So Chris Schwartz, who ran Rough House Records,
Mm-hmm.
at the time wanted KRS to executive produce the score. And Chris didn't know anything about, exactly. And
The Fugees album.
Fugees album, yeah. They were the Translator crew, actually. And then I think they had just become the Fugees. And Chris came to me.
The Translator crew?
Was the name of the Fugees. Yeah, and before they called themselves Fugees. That's their first album. And Chris came to my house. The studio used to be the same place where Rich Nice came. Chris came there one day and he was like, so Commissioner Gordon, what? No, matter of fact, I wasn't commissioning. I'm still Gordon. This is before he started with the commissioner. And he said, have you ever heard of these guys, the Translator group? There's some bald head guy that plays guitar. And I was like, nah, I don't know. I didn't know who they were. And he's like, yeah, so I'm going to go out and meet this guy, Chris Schwartz, and talk to him about it. He wants me to work on the record. And for whatever reason, it didn't work out. He passed, but look at what happened with that album.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
met Lauryn after this now, separately from Wyclef. And we started working together, and she asked me to work with her on her record. And I came back and I told Chris, I was like, you know what? I met this girl, man, and I don't know about the rest of them in the group because I hadn't worked with Clef. I had met him, but I hadn't worked with him yet. He's super talented, unbelievable in the studio. But I said, this girl, whoever this girl is, she's something else, man. I think you should think about it. I was like, no, I got to finish my album and blah, blah, blah. And he never did it. And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
What did Miss Hill tell you when y'all sat down to talk about this project? Because the title wasn't there yet, right?
No, there was nothing.
There was nothing. So
No.
when you sit down and you do your vision board, what did
the
she
first
say?
thing? The first thing was a phone call. I'll never forget. And she said, I want you to work on this record with me. And I said, okay, well, what's the record? And at this time, I was A&R at Sony. And no one really wanted Lauryn to do a record separately because in their mind, Clef was the producer, so why are we going to give this guy? And they had sold 20 million records, so they just wanted another Fugees record. They didn't want
The executives, right?
Yeah, they didn't. And I'm A&R, so I'm getting this, but I'm not telling them that. But this is what I'm getting in my ear at the label. So I said, what do you want me to do? And she said, well, I want you to be for me what Jerry is for Clef. Like Jerry's like Clef's co-producer, but it wasn't his
Jerry
name.
Wonder.
Jerry Wonder. But no one said that. Like people know years later that he was, but at that time you just saw the names of the, Fugees. But Jerry was always like the fourth Fugees. So I was like, okay, so you want me to, she said, I need you to be my co-pilot. I was like, oh, all right, and Sue was on the phone and I got that nudge. She was my wife, I'm getting that nudge. And I thought Lauryn was amazing. So I said, okay, we never really memorialized it in any way business-wise, but I just agreed to it and we started, and it was a thing.
Oh,
It was a thing.
And there,
We'll leave it there. And we'll leave it there. That's why. You gotta watch this guy.
I didn't say nothing.
I
didn't say nothing.
I know what was
What
about
was
to
to happen?
I didn't say anything. Drop. Did you hear me say anything?
We all missed it.
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Where my notes at? Here.
Thank you, Sway.
What was the first song y'all recorded on the album?
Right.
The first song was what became X Factor, but it wasn't X Factor then. That was the first.
Well,
the music, yeah, I think so. It was X Factor or the music that was gonna be Lost Ones, but the music changed like 4 or 5 different times. But I think those two were like
the first. What was Lost Ones about, and who?
This wasn't supposed to be this kind of interview.
I just wanted Kalani to see your.
Don't let him do it.
Kalani's seeing both his pants
Okay,
forward
I'll do
in
you
that
this.
chair.
I'll do you this solid. I'll do you this solid. Cause you done sat in the chair, homie.
Yeah.
I'll do you this solid.
I came, but I can't
Yeah,
bring
whatever.
drop.
You didn't have to sit in the chair. You could have been in the couch.
Got him.
I'll do you this solid. We'll save it for a different conversation.
Okay.
If you promise to have the conversation.
How it depends.
That's a yes or no.
It's a yes or no. We can't
Because
have stipulated.
I can ask you questions now in front of the camera.
Okay, all right. We can have a separate conversation on air. We're gonna have a separate conversation
Yes,
on
sir.
air.
We're going to camera it. Yeah, one time.
For the history.
What are you scared of, man?
I'm
when
not scared.
You know I ain't
I'm
going
not
to disrespect
scared.
the legacy of that project.
Yeah, I know.
It got voted the #1 album of all
Yeah, that's-
time, bro.
that's
Give
crazy.
yourself a round of
That's
applause.
crazy. That's crazy to me. Yeah, that's
I
unbelievable.
got nothing but the ultimate respect for Miss
Okay.
Hill. There's never been another artist in my lifetime like her.
Yeah, no, I have the ultimate respect. You know, my level of respect for Lauryn has changed over time. I think maybe it's a function of getting older and, you know, also having children and growing and realizing that, you know, you hear a lot of things about Lauryn, and I'm thankful that I have a microphone to say it, because I've always stayed away from talking purposely about that, because I thought the music was so great. I never really wanted to get into the personal side of it, because we really were like a family. I mean, Shasa's here. Her dad is Stephen Marley. Stephen's the reason we were able to go to Bob Marley's house and record in the house. So I watched all these children grow up, and we're like it's a family that got splintered in a lot of controversy and the things that happen over something getting really big. But from Lauryn, I can see now, you know, Lauryn was 21 or 22 years old. Can you imagine being 22 years old and having the entire world, like everywhere we went in the world, she was on Front Street. And we couldn't go anywhere where she wasn't on Front Street. And I think that alone is something that I know I wasn't ready for, especially being the age that I mean, she was young. She was like Kalani's age, you know? So handling those things, okay, Lauryn may have made mistakes. Who don't make mistakes? How many mistakes I made? You know what I'm saying? And that I could live now and say, damn, I wish I wouldn't have done that. So I think Lauryn's a great songwriter and a great person who had to deal with a lot of adversities, and she handled it well enough to make that, and look what she made.
Come on, man. Let's celebrate it. Yeah.
Celebrate it.
I'm not mad at that.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. Love that girl.
It's like the pyramids, you know. They say any and everybody else made the pyramids.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But the folks who live there, you know,
have a different story
they
about
have
it.
a different story. So
Yeah.
with her album,
Yeah.
it's like the pyramids.
Yes.
Everybody has something to do
To
with
say
it.
and
Everything.
yeah.
But you do not have that album without Miss Hill.
Not at all. Not at all. So I'm thankful to have been there, and then all of the things and all of the fruit that it produced, I'm thankful to have eaten some of that fruit too.
And everybody that worked on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, and let's be happy. Let's celebrate.
You don't want to talk about the lawsuits.
No.
Okay.
No,
All right, man. We'll keep that out.
That's this guy, man. He's unbelievable. Can we?
You feeling triggered?
You unbelievable.
Y'all got me
Sway.
working on a Friday. I'm having fun, man. Come on, man. But I want to just set this up because you have been instrumental in your vision, your foresight when it comes to artistry has been, you know, just on 1,000. And I remember you approached me about a project that you're working on with the new company that you're a part of.
Yes, AMP.
AMP.
Yes.
All right. AMP is a company that is...
It's a music platform that's focusing on using technology to help estates or help people. How I got involved with it was talking about estates and working with, you know, using AI in a responsible way. You know, you get a lot of. I was an AI hater myself until I really got to understand the opportunities and the possibilities with it as a tool. But you still need people, you know. And Drop, the brother who's here with me now, Drop and I had met through a friend of mine, Nino, over there in the corner.
Now, Nino is a music business staple because of a lot of the different people he worked with. One of the groups he worked with, one of my good friends from Above the Law, right? Come on, man. Yeah, man. So he's been putting in work for a long time. Promoting. He worked with the legendary Eazy-E back in the day. You did some stuff with E?
I did some stuff with
Yeah, come on, man. Tell everybody something. Man. Get on there, man.
Come on now.
Yeah, he's trying to hide. He didn't want to get on the mic.
Yeah, you didn't want to get on the mic?
He was trying to hide.
That's some L.A. shit right there.
He looks very LA.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Very LA.
Don't be asking me no questions, fool.
No, but we've been doing this for a long time.
Careful now, JP. Careful now.
You hear that? But you've been in the game how long now? 35
God
years.
bless.
You remember, and out of L.A. was where you were based out of mostly, or
I did a lot on the West Coast.
on the West Coast? Were you out in L.A. when King Tech and I came to the beat?
I remember.
You remember them
very well.
Come on, you remember them days, man?
I remember them
when
days.
Easy had the West Side.
Compilations,
Come
all
on,
that.
Talk to them. They don't know me, man.
Oh, man.
They don't know me.
How would you describe Sway back during that time?
Sway's always been solid, man. He is a lover of hip hop, and his IQ is off the chain.
Wow, shit.
I would have to agree.
Damn, let's make that a sweeper. We're gonna run that every day. I ain't never heard that. My IQ.
Come on, yes, sir.
So the point I'm making is this is a man who's been extremely established in the music business, and has attached himself to nothing but successful projects.
Yes.
So are you.
Yes.
Henceforth, let's bring up my man Drop. Give it up for Drop.
Yes. Yes. Drop.
Now, Drop is a multi-platinum producer.
Yes, he is.
He's worked with Lil Kiki.
Come on.
That's my brother. That's my brother, man. Give it up for Lil Kiki.
Southside.
Come on.
Southside.
Rich Homie Quan. Moneybag Yo. Dun Dun.
Yes, sir.
Right? Future.
Yes, sir.
And very instrumental in working with the beloved Mo3. Rest in power. We got the one and only Drop is here with us.
Welcome.
This is like Voltron forming
Yeah, for sure.
for this project.
For this project, yes, sir.
Drop, what can you tell me about this project?
Oh man,
Wasn't expecting that Drop. You knew you was on the mic.
yes sir. Well, I'll say first, happy birthday to Mo3, to the young God.
There you go,
Yes, sir.
man.
Today's his birthday, May 31st.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
What can you tell us about Mo3? A lot of headlines we heard were more controversial
Yes, sir.
than tragic than anything else. What can you share?
Man, Mo3 was very gifted, very gifted, very talented, very funny. He was a very funny guy, man. He had a good heart. You know, a lot of people know him from the street side of what everyone publicized from his music, but the brother was down to earth. You know, you can come in the studio, you know, hey, brother asked me, man, can I step in the building? Hey, come on in. Mo3 is just like welcoming. You know, he's very welcoming. He comes from a family of nothing but music. So our whole family has been around music. And 3 has, you know, 3 is my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people
That's
don't
your
know
blood
this.
cousin.
This is my blood cousin.
Okay,
So
all right.
we
That mic bothering you, huh?
yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man.
So there we go.
Okay,
All right,
thank
it's
you.
better right there. Yes, sir.
That's a producer
So-
for you, boy. You gotta angle that shit.
gotta have the mic, yeah, right.
Gotta have it right.
Yes, sir. So, you know, we didn't know we were cousins coming in.
Wow.
We worked from 2013 all the way to 2019,
Uh-huh.
and never knew we were cousins. Sorry, y'all.
Drop. It ain't gonna get no better than that. I didn't want to say this on camera, but that's about as good as it's
Sorry,
gonna.
y'all.
All right,
That
man.
mic
I'm
is
just-
bothering
Yeah,
you.
it kept dropping. It's just moving real slow.
The more you touch it, the more
More drops.
Yeah, more it drops. So,
paying homage to you.
Yep.
and we worked, you know, like 2012 all the way through to 2019.
Damn.
And you know, almost every day, and it was fun working with him. He listened. This is to all the artists. If you have a producer, man, listen to your producer, especially when you can get guidance that you don't have. You can have most talent. You can come in, Michael Jackson, but without the production and the producers, you only gonna stay at one level. So he listened. He didn't have a problem with listening. He soaked it in, and he delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And he learned fast. We would work fast. I would push him. I would give him everything that he need. I'm just a little about myself. I'm a guy that just loves production. I love production. I've been doing production since I was 14. So when I met Mo3, it was like he was a little kid sitting on the floor in the studio, and he was just sitting there, and I just turned around and asked the youngster, "Man, what you doing here?" He like, shoot, you know, I'm you know, what you mean, you know? He like, you know, holding that thing. I'm like, okay, for who? He was like, for the guys that were there. And I said, for these guys? You're too young. Hey, man, y'all got this young guy in here doing this? And he was like, man, that's what he wanted to do. You know, he wanted to be, you know, security, you know, behind some of his label. And he wasn't doing music at the time. One day, we was in the session, and man, they needed someone to sing, you know, and he went into the booth. He didn't want to go at first. I pushed him. I asked, hey man, shit, go ahead, show him what you got. He went in. It was like magic, you know. He went in, did his thing. It was like, the whole studio just went crazy. And actually, that's when the hate started, you know.
That's when the hate started?
Yeah, that's
the
when the hate
first
started.
time he went in the studio?
Right.
What
Yes,
was
sir.
the hate? How did it manifest? Like, was through gossip? How did you start feeling the hate? You know what I mean?
I'm glad you used that word, feel.
Yeah.
I have a gift, man. I just say it like that. I can feel energy. You
Uh-huh.
can't fool me when it comes to energy.
Okay.
And the energy in the room was right here, and some people in the room, energy was down here.
Damn.
And I saw it, and it was those people that actually started the hate in the communities of Dallas. You know,
The people who were in that room.
Oh yeah.
And who brought him in there? How did he could he feel the hate as well?
He didn't even know. No one knew. I'm
Yeah.
the only one peeped it
Uh-huh.
at that moment. I peeped it, and I kept it. Actually, I checked the guy. I checked one of them the next day, and I couldn't let it just rest. You know, and I checked him on it. He knows I checked him, and you know, from there, those guys, that same guy I checked, him and Mo3 was beefing hard, and
Wow.
I don't want to go into all that, but they ended up fighting. I made them fight.
Mhm.
You know, because they was, got into it at the studio. One popped up, didn't know the other was there, and it kind of went crazy. And I came in between, and because they started calling, hit them numbers. You already know what's going to happen now. People gonna start pulling up. So my thing was to, get them from my studio, went to a location, and made them fight. And Mo3 was ready. Yeah, bet. He was really excited about. He had a lot of energy. Little short guy, but he had energy out this world, man. And shoot, Mo3 beat the dude up.
Oh, he did?
Yes, sir. And
That didn't help the hate.
that didn't help the hate.
Okay.
We asked everybody right there, man. Let's buy guns. Y'all shook on it. Like old school. This is OG stuff. Shook on it. It shouldn't have went no further than there.
Yeah.
But the hate continued, and for years.
Yeah. Well, here we are today to celebrate Mo3,
Right.
who recently celebrated a birthday, right?
Yeah, today.
Today is his
Yes, sir.
birthday.
Today.
So there's a project that's been put together posthumously by AMP, produced by the two of you,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon and Drop.
Yes.
Drop and me. helped
Well,
out.
Drop really did everything.
yeah.
Gordon just saying, yeah, that sounds good.
No, but
That's all. I don't know about that. You like that snare? Okay, I like it too. That's Gordon.
you funny.
Oh, sorry, yo,
Yeah, we did it
check this out, man. I've been to his home in the Bronx.
Yes.
sir.
He's played me a ton of those songs
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Like a while back, last year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I've been up on what's going on here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I wasn't as familiar with Mo3.
Okay. Yes, sir.
But through this music he's been playing me, this unreleased music that I know you guys have and that you've been working on, I went back and started digging. I went and listened to Shotters, Shotters Reloaded.
Yo, come
I
on,
went
man.
through the whole
3.0?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I went
Come
through the
on.
whole thing, and man, he's a powerful, soulful person. And so we want citizens to know that there's more Mo3 music coming.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I know there's been some legality surrounding the estate, right?
Yes, sir.
And who? that you can say?
Let's clear this for the record. You know,
Okay.
when people hear estate, the first thing you think of is family.
Yeah.
Estate is family, so that's the first thing you hear when you say estate. No one in his estate is the family. So it's kind of, it make me feel like I'm going against Mo3 because the estate is coming after me for something that I own. And they basically have hijacked the estate. No one in the family is in the estate right now. And so it's like I'm fighting on two fronts.
So the attorney that was assigned that Mo3's mom hired,
Yeah, she hired, yes.
now somehow took over the estate, and she isn't attached to it any longer?
No one in his family.
And so the music that you're trying to release, you're being sued for by people who are not related to Mo3.
Never
but they
been in the studio, ain't never been nowhere, and have nothing to do with nothing.
Insanity.
Right.
That's diabolical.
law champs.
Did the mother assign the rights over to the attorney? I'm a little bit confused right now.
Well, you hire a state attorney. This off the record of what this is how it go. In Texas, it's every law as far as dealing with a state is different, of course. But in Texas, you hire an attorney, and if they feel like you're not, owning up to the level they want you to be inside the estate, then they can vote you up out of here. Even though, and it was just a bunch of mess behind it. And then, this is his mother. It's nothing that mom can do. Mo3 loved his mom. So.
So, are you all
Shout out to Miss Nobles.
Miss Nobles? Are you all working out a relationship with her where she could benefit from the project?
Yeah, that's mine. That's one of my
That was
objectives.
the power of AMP, getting involved, because I was actually working with Drop and Nino before I met the folks at AMP. And when I met them and saw what they were talking about, and they asked me would I be interested in coming and working with them, I said, this situation is like tailor-made for them, and they were able to help, to help Ray, help Drop.
That's Drop.
That's Drop. Yeah, we on
Ray do be balling.
Yeah.
Damn, Sway.
Oh boy, when I come back on this show, oh my God! So yeah, they were able, they were a big help to getting this done, and that's what that's the business model, to be able to help young artists coming up. As we know, streaming, none of us are getting paid. It's crazy, like what's going on now, how artists are being dealt with. So AMP is trying to find ways to help artists in those situations, particularly because of the AI end with estates, because you have a lot of estates that have their own content and have things that they don't necessarily know what to do with it or can't finish it, or so you have a company here that is really looking at helping there, but also putting out new music and having people do music.
Absolutely. And in this case, creating, finishing this man what his mission was, Mo3,
Yes,
and then allowing his family and yourself to benefit from it, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So wait, can I jump in real quick? Because Drop. I grew up in Louisville, Louisville,
Cool,
Texas.
man. Yes, sir.
And so I remember where during that period, it was just like if you got a song on the radio, if you got any attention for your music, it's just like you said. Some people were happy for you, and then other people were just like, "Fuck!" Like, you know, I just want to know, like, what is the sound of Dallas right now? Because it was so hard for Dallas musicians to stand out apart from Houston musicians.
Right.
So sometimes they would kind of emulate whatever was popping in Houston, whether it be screws, samples, stuff like that. So what is the Dallas sound right now?
That's a good question. I'm different when it comes to that question, because you hear the boogie. They say Dallas sound was the boogie music.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing boogie music. I can't say I'm respected. That's what was happening. But you say sound, I think they need to change the language. Because we created a different sound ourselves. We created a sound. Absolute Production Studios, we created a sound. Whatever anyone came into our studio, we had a sound. So it's not necessarily like the genre. They trying to say what genre, and it's really not, man. We just make good music. There's only two types of music.
Good and bad.
Good and bad.
Okay.
So we just try to produce great music.
Y'all have a single that's out or coming out?
Come on, Nino.
Nino, this is your part right here, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely coming, Sway.
It's coming, but this is a single I'm about to play now.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to give you for especially Mo3 fans, this is going to give you some insight of what you can expect. I've heard the song. It sounds powerful.
Thank you.
How did you put this song together?
Man, just to really just talk about the song, it was Mo3 was talking about it when he had got Jack. You know, someone took his money, you know, robbed him. And so he felt like he needed to do the same thing. I got to get back, you know, get back right. So he ended up, you know, getting with his people, you know, to make it short, got with his people, and he ended up trying to go do something and ended up in jail at the end of the story. So he created a song about it. And he had called his mom from jail. You know, he cried, she cried. I know them stories. I remember being in jail and my mom, you know, looking at her through the glass. And man, that just hurt. That hurt you. I just hear her voice through the phone in jail. So I can imagine that call between him and his mama. So it became a song. And it's phone call to mama.
Phone call to mama. I want to thank you for coming by, brother.
Man, I'll thank you, brother.
Man, I hope you enjoyed yourself,
brothers,
man. Yes,
sir,
man. Come on.
I thank you, brothers, man.
We had her on before y'all
had
come.
that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
We got it. We got it. Thank you.
Had to make sure my niece was all right.
Shasha got on. She did a whole segment by herself. Took over the mic, by the way. Yeah, you should have started.
Oh my God.
She got greedy. Mo3, rest in power.
Yes, sir.
Mo3, rest
Yes,
in
sir.
power.
Very
Mo3,
talented
rest
young
in
man.
power.
Rest in power.
Salute to AMP. If people want to find out more about AMP, how do they do it?
Well, right now we getting everything in place, but you can email me at commish7@gmail. You can look for me on Instagram, Commissioner Gordon, and that's with a 0 on the last O in Gordon. And as this all gets set up behind the song, then there'll be an official, you know, Gordon Amplified music group and that whole thing. But right now, just use my my Commissioner Gordon. That's, you know,
Commissioner Gordon. The way it sounds is the way it's spelled, but put a 0 at the end of Gordon.
Yeah, at the end of Gordon.
And then drop.
We can hit Drop Squad.
Drop Squad.
That's the new.
I saw
that's
that.
the new circle. You know,
Drop
brothers.
Squad.
Yeah, Drop Squad. That's the production. So everything Drop Squad.
Okay, gentlemen, congratulations. I'm looking forward to hearing the complete project.
For sure.
If you haven't heard this one, it's called Just Got Off the Phone. World premiere.
Word. Sway got it first.
World premiere.
Mo3. Let's go,
Mo3. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming by.
Hey, thank
All right,
you,
you
man.
both are
Thank
citizens.
you.